Hey, yes, it's a very big cup of coffee. Look, it's almost as big as my head. Crazy. But some mornings we need a little extra kick, and today is one of those mornings. I am Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, and in case we haven't met yet, I like to go by Pajama Gramma. I am creating a Pajama Gramma lifestyle for myself, or have created, obviously, since I'm still in my pajamas, and I like to show other people how to do the same thing. Today, this is day 146 of the Daily Scare Share. 145 days I've gotten on Facebook Live. That in and of itself is scary, right? But I've been sharing from the book, Do One Thing a Day That Scares You, every day, something to stretch my comfort zone and get me out of the rut I've been living in. Challenged this year at the beginning of the year, not quite on the first, but around the first week of the year, by my daughter to stop doing what I was doing because I was just playing really small and living in a little tiny bubble that I'd created around myself, which is the same thing as a rut. You know what they say about ruts? It's just like a grave with the ends cut out. And sometimes we need somebody outside of us to remind us that we are here for so much more. We can do, be, and have so much more than what we're settling for. And she was that catalyst and reminder for me. And I happen to have had this book on a bookshelf since about 2014. I started it with a friend, and we did it for about a week together. We had begun a new business together, or we were in the same business. It was actually a network marketing business. I know it's hard to admit, but it still is a network marketing business. I just don't do it anymore for a lot of reasons that have nothing to do with being scared or my comfort zone. They did in the beginning, but they don't now. I just have gone different directions with my life and career, and that's what happens. We go through stages in our life where we do different things, and we are interested in different things, and we're attracted to different things. We always need to do what feels best and right for us. So today's Daily Scare Share doesn't feel so good for me because it's one of those scary blank line days. And all it's got is the word Voyage for a clue. Now, normally I would grab my a book I got from my grandfather of 5,000 quotes. And that probably has something about voyages in it because it's a very old book. But today, what I thought I would do with you here, because usually I just do it on my own, but I thought it might be more fun to do it for the crowd. I'm going to draw from these decks of wisdom cards, they're called. Well, this one's Wisdom Cards by Louise Hay. Then I've got Angel Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue, gift from my sister. I've got Well-Being Cards from Esther and Jerry Hooks. Esther and Jerry Hicks and the Teachings of Abraham. And you may or may not be familiar with that, but I've been following them for quite a long time. And you can tell because my next two decks are also from Esther and Jerry Hicks, Getting into the Vortex and Money and the Law of Attraction. And the reason I've grabbed these is because they're the ones that were sitting here by my morning spot. So let's just go to the wisdom cards. And here's exactly what I do when I need an idea or when I'm looking for something positive to think about throughout my day. I don't know about you, but sometimes there's negativity around me. Sometimes there's people or events or situations going on in the world that are not exactly uplifting and upbeat. And those are brought to our attention. So this is my little trick for combating some of that negativity and nonsense. And I want to say BS, but I want to actually keep this rated G for general audiences, so I won't curse. And you know, sometimes I like to curse, but I like to save it for effect and emphasis, and I don't always need it. All right, so then I just shuffle it up, and whatever card feels right to me, I grab that one, and I set it aside. And sometimes, like today, I need more than one card because I have dogs barking. I've had dogs barking every day lately. Isn't that interesting? Sometimes the dogs like to keep me company. Then the next deck, I do the same thing. Well, some of them are backwards. I think they're backwards because I've already pulled them. But depending on the day, sometimes I just like to shuffle the deck. Other times I just pick the top card. It just totally depends, whatever I'm feeling. Because what I've learned over my years of wisdom, you can tell I've got some wisdom going on here. They're called wisdom wrinkles. Wrinkles are called wisdom in my book. And it's true, they are wisdom. So I'll usually just go through the deck, and then sometimes I'll just cut the deck a little bit. I can't see what I'm doing, can you? And then I pull a card. And today it's outdoors. And I was just thinking this morning that I need to get outdoors some more. And so you know what I did? I took my giant cup of coffee and I went outside and I took a picture of the sunrise because it was gorgeous. The sky was beautiful colors today. And I like doing that. So that's enough. 2 cards is enough. 2 cards usually gives me an idea of what I need to talk about. And if I don't have my magnifying glass, I am going to be in big trouble. Here it is. Fun, you get to reach with me and stuff today. Do you want to see my little friend? Hello, hello. I don't know why he's in here. But a grandma should have teddy bears, right? So a pajama grandma does have teddy bears. So, since I don't have any lines written in here except Voyage, and Voyage does say to me, let's read one of those cards. Let's read these cards and see if it gives me an idea of a way to stretch my comfort zone, some way to give me more confidence moving toward my goals and objectives and what it is that I'm trying to do or create in my life. So the first one says, I am good enough. I am good enough. This is one of my favorite things and favorite sayings and favorite reminders because at some level, so many of us have this little unworthiness nugget or seed that's been growing inside of us our entire lives. And when we want to do things like make a Facebook Live or talk to a new customer or get out of our comfort zone in whatever way, shape, or form we're trying to move forward and change our life or make our life better, we get this little, I'm not good enough inkling. And it's just a little thought in our subconscious. Consciously, we're not even aware of it so often. So whenever I see this, it's a reminder that I am good enough. I am good enough. You are good enough. We're all freaking good enough. I don't know why the world makes us think that we're not. All we have to do is go out and be ourselves. See what the back says. Handy dandy magnifying glass says, I am not restricted by old limiting beliefs from my, oh, this is good. I am not restricted by old limiting beliefs from my family or from society. How many of us can relate to that one? Do you happen to have a family member or a friend or someone in society that's making you feel or giving you the messages that you're not good enough? They're judging, they're criticizing, they're telling you right out, who do you think you are to do that? Who do you think you are? You can't do that. Do you ever get any of those messages? Guess what? They're lies. And when people tell us that, and when society tells us that, it's not about us and what we're capable of. It's about the person that's telling us that and their own fears and insecurities about what they can do and they can create and they can be and do and have. So go out. You're good enough. You're absolutely, positively good enough. And this one's probably saying get outdoors because whenever you're doubting or thinking that there's scarcity or lack in your life or your world, all you have to do is go out and look in nature. Look at behind me. I used to think when I was feeling scarcity and lack about how many leaves there are on just one tree. And I have no idea. I've always been going to Google it, but I never have. But just think about something like that. Or how many grains of sand are there in a cup of sand? How many drops of water are there in a gallon of water? Think of how abundant nature is. And guess what? There's that same abundance in us. There's that same abundance in our world. It's only mankind that creates scarcity and lack and negative messages and makes us feel we're not good enough. So go out and make it an awesome day. That is my message for today's Daily Scare Share. And how does that have anything to do with Voyage? It doesn't. I'm sorry. Some days I give myself permission, because I make up my own rules, to not actually do what the book says. It's just a guide, just like everything else in our life. It's a guide to show us something. So it's shown me today that I am good enough, you're good enough, and we're going to have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow with day 147 of the Daily Scare Share. Go ahead. Don't be scared.